a problem here. And it's more than just Alvin streaming Punisher. When life begins to suck, who's reporting it? Luckily, you got two friends who you won't forget. Coming live, Alvin and friend on survival. Laughing non-stop, case drops on a cycle. Louder than intrusive thoughts off an iPhone. How they make the world seem bright with the lights off? AFs, it might as well stay up. Lies being told like that dinosaur BS. Magnifying glass to the ground if they don't see us. Having the time, roasting your favorite pizza. Bougie ain't an option, it's the wage. Taking to the grave, add moving to the place. You already know when they take the case. Laugh the pain away, it's affirmative murder.
Hello and welcome to another episode of Affirmative Murder, the equal opportunity true crime comedy podcast. I am Alvin Williams, joined as always by my partner in true crime, Francel Evans.
Oh yes, wait a minute, Mr. Postman.
Yeah, man, I'm the mailman. Can't you tell, man? Gonna post to it.
What up?
How are you doing, Fran?
I'm doing well, man. I had a week off.
Yes.
My birthday was this past Tuesday, I believe it was. Tuesday. Yes, sir. Thank you. August 1st.
The big 3-8.
No, not quite yet.
Not quite yet. What is it? What, 32?
Yes, straight up.
Does it feel different?
No.
Nobody likes you when you're 32.
No.
As the song goes.
No, I'm good, man. I just, there's always this issue on my birthday. I don't think we've talked about this. So every year,
yes,
my grandma Frances, gives me a gift.
Okay.
So her thing is she's known to do this. So each
gives
gifts, but for my birthday, my brother's, my dad's, she'll give a money or a check, whatever your age that you just turned.
Okay.
Right? So the thing about that is she does this thing where if you don't call her after you've received this check, it becomes a big
issue.
So I'm dealing. She's like mad at me
over $32.
She's like mad at me right now. It's because it's I get it, and it go all right. Well,
because when you put it in perspective, it's $32. You can't hold a grudge. You can't start a grudge with me over. Bro,
$32. She does this every year. Every year I got to hear from her. Oh, it's always.
But every year that you don't do it, it becomes more of a thing. Because at first it's all right, $15, whatever. But now it's getting a little. That's 3 bills and 2 ones. That's that's $32. That's a chunk of change.
Yeah, man. Hey, so I'm dealing with that right now. She's kind of upset with me, but it's every year, bro.
Make
every
the call,
year.
man. Stop.
I did. I called her, left a message, and she didn't answer. But I talked to my brother. He was like, "Yeah, grandma mad at you." I was like, "I bet she."
You gotta keep blowing her phone up until you make direct contact. A voicemail is not enough. You gotta really come thankful for the 32.
I'm busy, man. I don't got time to be sitting around calling people all day. I'm busy.
Yeah, if somebody give you an Orlando shack, you gotta be thankful. You know what I mean? You can't just would you just take that and put that in the tank and don't even give praise? It's whatever. Hey man, listen. Another birthday has passed. You're another year older.
Yeah,
life is flowing. Life is good. I want to address something. This will be the format of our mini-sodes. Life has been hectic. I'm going to get into that in a second. But I just wanted to give people a heads up at the front, just in case they don't feel like hearing some crazy stories from our listeners, which I don't know why you wouldn't. It's just switching up a little bit. I received all kind of messages and condolences from people. They were kind of left in the dark a little bit, but information was let out. Or given out by Fran that something had happened in my family. Yeah. And my grandfather, who had been battling dementia for the last, I would say at least 4 or 5 years, it took a turn for the worse over the last couple of weeks. And, he passed away. And I just, been processing that and don't really have the capacity to talk about. I don't know what's going on in the world. I haven't really been checking in and, keeping up. So I don't really want to half-ass a story that, deserves our attention and our effort and, all focus and all that stuff. I was like, let's still record because I wanted to hop on and talk to my man and give people an update because, people listen and, people are invested in us and our lives. And I think that's cool. And so I want to let people know I'm okay. People hear something bad happen and then you don't ever tell them, they are bound to, continue to be concerned. So I want to let people know I'm doing great. My grandfather lived a hell of a life, and, as Fran can attest to, things with his mom. Yeah. It's selfish of me to be sad. I am sad, but like he was a proud man. And, he wouldn't have wanted to be bathed by somebody and not get to be home and all those things, so he's in a better place.
Yeah, for sure.
And now we just got to deal with it and process it here. But yeah, Alvin Jerome Williams the first.
Wow.
Big Al, solid dude. Yeah. Most solid dude I've ever met, as far as like a man. When you talk about like a man, like go to work, come home. When you ask him how he's doing, he tell you how his kids are doing. Like that's the first thing that comes out of his mouth. Yeah. Doesn't want any problems with anybody, but like will handle them if they come his way. Like just like a real example of a dude. Yeah. And really happy I got to experience him and make memories with him, and nothing but positive things to say, and hope I can leave a legacy as big as his. It's crazy, like as sad as you are, like in that, a hospital moment, but you look around and you see like the tree. Yeah. That, like aunts, uncles, grandkids, there's babies, and they're all here for this person. Yeah. Who we wouldn't be there if it wasn't for him.
Exactly. Yeah.
So it's like sad, but it's also beautiful. It's just a beauty in like, there's a beauty in the finality of death. And like, I got to spend some time in his room next to him and say some words to him. And, I felt like I got to say everything I needed to say. You're never going to say everything you want to say, but I'm at peace in the things I got to tell him. And yeah, it's life, and, you can, it's just left for us to deal with. Like he's gone, he's at peace, but it's all good, So I appreciate anybody who sent a comment or a message my way. It was really nice. I'm really grateful and thankful to people. And I still wanted to come on and record with my boy and, give you guys some content. So yeah, man. I'm here and in the flesh, man.
Yeah, man. I mean, I can kind of, I can kind of get the idea of, what you're going through and how you're dealing with it.
Of course, yeah.
Yeah, but, more importantly that you're, in good spirits right now, and, you seem happy. So that's good, because I can't, because we wouldn't be able to do this, because I wouldn't be able to hold it in emotionally for myself, because I'm like, man, we can't.
For sure.
This ain't going to work. This ain't
for sure. Yeah, for sure. You know what I mean? But also it's been enough time.
Yeah,
it's definitely not. It's been a week already. And it'll be another week until his funeral. Yeah. So I've had some time, like, the first couple of days sucked and it was like surreal. Mm-hmm. And then you see the funeral flyer, and it's trippy because it's my grandfather, but then it's also trippy because his name is my name. Yeah. And they didn't put the one on the flyer. So it just as a flyer, it says my name on it. So that's trippy as well. It makes you think about how much life you have left and all that stuff that comes along with it. But I think all that stuff comes along with it for me when people pass away, but somebody with my name and who lived a life and a family and kids and grandkids and everything, you think about like how much time you have to do that, Yeah, so, but other than that, enough of that shit. Boring. Let's get into some stories. I'm going to kick things off, Fran, with this is from a listener. I don't know if they want me to say their name. I'm going to not say their name because of just how juicy this is, but you know who you are. Your name starts with a J. We'll leave it at that. I want to give people credit sometimes. So anyway, this email starts with, sorry in advance for the long read. Feel free to cut if you please. I don't know if we'll need to, but you guys won't know if we do, so it doesn't matter. Let's get into it, Fran. My former BFF and I have been friends for over 10 years. Or had been. Ooh, okay. Already. Yeah, past tense. Sad already. During our friendship, she was living with the father of her child. One weekend, a few of us went to see my BFF in the home that she shared with her child's father. The child was away for the weekend. We decided to go out, and he called her nonstop while we were there and made it really difficult for her to enjoy herself. Everyone convinced her to just relax and have a good time. When we got back to their house, we all went to change. I was sitting at the edge of the bed for a second looking at my phone when I thought I'd heard a whimper. I put my phone down and sat impossibly still in order to see if I was just hearing things. You know, sometimes you hear some shit and you freeze up and you're like,
look in the hallway.
That's when I start asking questions. Hello? Is someone there?
Is somebody there? Who that?
Hey. Hey. But the head just popped out of the doorway.
Yeah, man.
Hey.
I don't do that at my house though. I do the look because I don't want nobody to know what
I know that you know.
Yeah, I don't want because you're giving away your position now. You don't got no. You
can't use your Home Alone
exactly,
skills if you give away the echolocation. They know what room you're in. Yeah. You get silent. You get silent.
Right.
This is a good strategy, you know? It sounded like it was coming from their room, as in the BFF and her child's father.
Okay.
And the bedroom I was staying in was right beside their bedroom and bathroom. I went to put my ear close to the wall when suddenly there was a loud slam against it.
Oh, shit.
I leapt from the bed and ran into their bedroom, for which they left the door unlocked. Upon entering the bedroom, I'd seen my friend's boyfriend/child's father with his hand raised to hit her and her kneeling on the floor or on their bathroom floor with her arms covering her head, and she was crying. Ooh, yeah, this
sounds like a movie.
Before this weekend, I'd heard a rumor that he was abusing her, but never directly from her. I wanted to ask her when I heard it, but I also didn't want to embarrass her. I know how hard it is for people to walk away from an abusive relationship, and I knew she would isolate herself, and I didn't want her to be in that position, so I would always just make sure that I was there for her if she wanted to talk. Anyway, so when I burst into the room, I say, "So what's going on in here?" Which is, I don't know about the inflection, but
yeah.
that was very playful. I'm sure it was a little bit more demanding. Like, "So what's going on in here?" The guy looks at me and yells at me to mind my business and to get out of their bedroom. I repeat myself, and so does he. I simply say, "Nah, I'm not going to do that. You're not about to beat on my friend with me right here. Nah, it ain't going down like that." He yells at me some more to mind my business, and I say again, "I'm not about to let you beat on her. Fuck that." At this point, he goes to reach under the bed, likely to pull a gun. Let me also say trigger warning. Like I didn't know this was gonna. I only read a little bit. This is serious. So my bad. Trigger warning to anybody who's been in a thing. Like, sorry, I didn't know this is dark. So they're going back and forth trying to get her out of the situation. She looks at him again, and I tell her to look at me and get up, and that he isn't going to touch her in front of me. Hesitantly and cowering, she gets up and comes with me. We go into another room, and she lays out tales describing the years of abuse she suffered at the hands of her spouse or whatever. Verbal, slapping, punching, choking, holding guns to her head, and once trying to gouge her eye out with her car keys.
What? So they're still in the house?
Yeah, like she just pulled her into another room, is what she's saying. So I guess he
we gotta get out of here.
Cooled off. Yeah, we gotta go.
We gotta go.
We're not gonna have a conversation. Yeah. You're telling me this too? Let's go in the car. Let's finish this in the car.
Right.
So she also says she added oftentimes all of this abuse was taking place in front of their child. After getting her more settled, I had another friend sit with her, and I went to talk to her boyfriend because he's still yelling and acting crazy. I think the reason why he actually lowered his voice talking to me and didn't pull a gun out or hit me was because he knows much of my family, and he is not that stupid. Okay, all right. So somebody has brothers or something, or a father or something, you know, that will put in work. Yeah. My friend did move out with her child and moved in with her parents. After some time, she did eventually get back with him, and our communication declined tremendously. I happened to catch her out with him one day, and we started to hang out again. And she would eventually go on to leave him 2 other times after that, while we were still friends, but his family would always bully her into getting back with him using abusive language and Christian teachings. Yeah, make it make sense.
I thought she was going to say that she saw her out in public and she was avoiding her.
No,
like,
you know,
you know what I mean? Like, it was like,
like
the guy was like, don't cut off all communication. She was like maybe embarrassed or scared.
But
you know
that's the thing about an abuser, though, is that there's a confidence in like, yeah, I'm still here. Like, you're the friend that pulled her away and called you all kind of names. But yeah, you go talk to her. Go talk to her and tell her how we're still together. Yeah, she's not going anywhere.
Yeah,
there's a confidence in that, you know. So I'm sure that was part of it. I'm sure he had no reason to be like, yeah, don't talk to her. Go tell, yeah, I don't care, fuck her, but like tell her you didn't go anywhere. You know, people are sick, man. Dudes are sick. Her, which is interesting that his family would bully her into coming back, probably saying stuff like, be a family, don't do, don't abandon your family and that kind of stuff, whatever that shit is,
And what Christian teach, they're not married or anything, so I don't.
That's what I'm saying. Like, if you're so Christian, you should be like, you're out of wedlock. Yeah. You guys, like that's, so.
It doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, So anyway, people twist religion to be whatever they need it to be. It's all bullshit.
Yeah, man.
We don't got to get into that.
Please don't. Please.
One place I don't want to go is there because it'll be a long conversation. So back to the story. When he had beaten the crap out of her again, she called me for support. We'd gotten her to a police escort to remove her things from the home after he'd left the house, knowing the police were coming. So, he left, he fled after he hit her, and the police came and he wasn't there. So they stayed and helped her, let her pack her stuff.
But as a friend, I mean, like, do you keep helping this person, or is it like, there's only so much I can do, where it's like, I'm helping you, but you keep.
That's the tough part, because this person seems to be aware of the difficulty, the psychological abuse that, that comes along with physical abuse, where it's not so easy to just leave.
Yeah.
And her being aware of that will help her stick around and try to be as good of a friend as possible. But everybody has a breaking point, like, right. I mean,
yeah,
my resources are tapped, my emotions are tapped, and I have to look out for my own best interests at the end of the day. Like, I feel like that's reasonable for anybody. Like, if you get to a point where you go, this is your life, and I've tried, and I'm here to listen to you, but I can't keep getting up in the middle of the night and coming and helping you pack, and my safety could be at risk. I'm in this house, and this guy comes back. Sometimes you got to self-preserve.
Right.
But it sounds like this person has been at their beck and call many a times when they needed help, and I think there's nothing wrong with getting tapped out and being depleted. And saying, "Hey, man, I got nothing left for you." I don't know if that person got to this point, but if you got to live your own life, you got to live your own live. So like I said, one other time after it's now established that this guy is a violent person. One other time, her hands were put on her, and the police came, and she came over and helped her grab as much stuff as they could, and they ended up going back to her parents' house. And she was a mess, and she asked me to stay with her, and I ended up staying there for about a week before going back home. So she's staying with her at her parents' house.
Okay. At a parent's house.
To be a support system. At her parents' house to be a support system.
Okay.
She goes on to say, I guess her child's father decided I was a problem when it came to their relationship, and since he'd been so good at manipulating her thus far, he had decided to say that I had made a pass at him behind her back, and that I was trying to sleep with him and calling her a fool for being my friend.
Wow.
She came to believe him, and in a roundabout way asked me if I had messed with her kid's father.
Okay. And that'll be into that friendship.
It's like, all this stuff I done done for you. You think, what? You believe this guy who, I'm not going to get into it, but you believe this guy who's been nothing but terrible to you, and I've been helping you, and you think I want him? I'd be more insulted at that. Like,
right.
I've heard all the stuff you told me. You think I want this person? So, that's crazy. So I asked her if she was seriously asking me that, and if she seriously believed him. Spoiler alert, she did.
That's crazy.
That's wild. I tried to reassure her that I had no interest in him whatsoever, but the seed had already been planted, and she would say stuff like, this is so passive aggressive. Because she'd say stuff like, because I'd have to beat the bitch who would call herself my friend and try to fuck my baby daddy. It's like, all right.
Pardon me?
Yeah, why are you saying it like you're threatening me? Anyway, so we eventually just cut ties. I believe she ended up getting back with him one more time, but finally left him for good. I hate that our friendship got ruined by a manipulative piece of shit ass hat. Okay. But I wish her nothing but happiness and wealth. Okay, yeah, get to the bag.
I can't believe she believed that. I can, but I mean, like.
Yeah, it's wild, This guy's manipulative, though, I did try to reach out a few times. A few times, and we had a couple of superficial conversations, but I grew tired of her being passive-aggressive towards me and let it go. And that's just one of the really shitty ways I lost a close friend. Love you guys. Thank you for sharing that. That's wild. Domestic violence is not a joke in any kind of way, and that's super serious. And I hope your friend got the help that they need. But wow, that's a really sad turn that your friend believed that, and that's the way it ended. So that's unfortunate. But again, if you are in a situation like that, don't be afraid. Don't be afraid to like bring people in and tell people what's going on, because you'd be surprised how many people really do want to help you. Like this person who sent us this email, she wanted to help and it didn't go the way that she wanted it to. But be a good friend over anything else. People need help them out. Absolutely wild though.
Except when they think you're a liar. It's like,
yeah,
I don't know.
I would have really, I would have really took an exception to that one. That's like, all the time.
I can't
stand at your parents' house.
Yeah, wake up 4 a.m, whatever time it is, to come help you pack and call authorities and stuff, and then you come to me with telling some. Did I sleep with you? Like,
yeah,
what?
You're a piece of shit.
Piece of shit.
Yeah, come on now.
Affirmative Murder is brought to you by HelloFresh. Take a bite out of summer with HelloFresh. From chef-crafted seasonal ingredients to their new fresh and fit summer menu, HelloFresh brings flavor right to your door. With HelloFresh, you get farm-fresh, pre-portioned ingredients and seasonal recipes delivered right to your front doorstep. Skip trips to the grocery store and count on HelloFresh to make home cooking easy, fun, and affordable. That's why it's America's #1 meal kit. And HelloFresh gets that you want options when it comes to making food for dinner, not just the same old thing. That's why they offer up to 40 recipes to choose from every single week, so you'll never get bored and can always find something new to try and love. And obviously in the summer months, you're doing a lot of trips and traveling, so when you get home, it's nice to have a box of HelloFresh waiting for you, and you got dinner ready in less than 30 minutes. It's a really good option for me when I don't feel like going to the grocery store, and it's always fun to cook. Put some music on, just lose track of time. Just go to HelloFresh.com/50hysteria and use the code 50hysteria for 50% off plus free shipping. That's the number 50, 50, HYSTERIA. Use that code and get 50% off your order plus free shipping. Once again, that's HelloFresh, America's #1 meal kit. Affirmative Murder is brought to you by the graphic novel Homicide from Macmillan. Originally published in 1991, David Simon's book Homicide is a true crime classic. It was a New York Times bestseller and the winner of the Edgar Allan Poe Award for Best True Crime Book. Simon's Homicide became the basis for the acclaimed television show Homicide: Life on the Streets, and inspired HBO's hit show The Wire, one of the best shows of all time. Now Homicide has been reimagined into a gritty, cinematic graphic novel. It has noir-inspired artwork, which is perfect for the dark tale of the murder and crime. It's perfect for fans of The Wire and other true crime shows and podcasts. Personally, they sent me a copy of this book and I could not put it down. The illustrations are amazing to go along with an already incredible story. And it'll be over before you know it, and it'll leave you wanting more. To learn more, go to bit.ly/homicidegraphicnovel.com. That's bit.ly/homicidegraphicnovel.com. Or just grab a copy wherever books are sold. This book's not only a must-read, but it's a must-see too. All right, back to the pod. We're going to jump to another email. This one says, "No names, please." Hey guys, this is not my story, but it is a story I'm involved with as a third party, but I felt there is a need to share with our community. Okay, all right. I do not want names of victims or mine to be said due to the respect of their own stories to be told when they are ready. Due to my own name's uniqueness, I would hate anyone of the ones who are not yet ready to be put out there. Appreciate your help with this. Okay, thank you. I will not say the person's name in any kind of way. Thank you for, again, saying that up front so I don't make that mistake. Because, sometimes you get in the bed, you're like, man, Barbara, you fuck
you
up.
do that.
By the royal you, which means me, I do that. I get excited and I just want to give people credit and say their name. So tell me up front so I don't make mistakes like that. Now we're good. We move forward. Now we move forward in anonymity as it should be, how you want it to be. So anyway, this person says, I saw this on TikTok the other day and it made me laugh, but quickly cry my eyes out deeply, understanding what it meant. I wish I could find it again to tag y'all in it, but cannot. It went something like, you're Hispanic if you all know that one uncle. Then the girl cuts out and says that the uncle was her dad.
What?
says that uncle was her dad.
Right?
Yeah, no, that's I read it right for sure. I don't know. I'm not Hispanic. Shout out to I don't know. I don't want to be
having a funkle.
Like,
having a funkle is crazy.
Yeah, not no. The dunkle. No, the funkle dunkle is insane. No, the funkle dunkle is some different stuff. But I get you're Hispanics reach. I'm gonna move on. I don't like that she now is erased anyway.
Why?
Yeah. If you know what I'm speaking about, then I'm sorry you had to be violated that way by so-called family. If not, I will let you know. Now. Violating, so okay. No, because I get it. No, I get it. Nah, never mind. No, I get it.
I don't get it.
No, okay. So basically, she's saying, if your dad's your uncle, then your mother or parent was molested by their brother.
Okay.
And that makes them your uncle and your father.
Yeah, obviously, yeah.
Yeah, but like out of the gate, I was like, what is that?
That threw me off. Yeah,
I don't know. I'm not Hispanic, so I didn't go there.
Yeah.
But that kind of stuff happens in every race. Yeah. But like, I don't know if it's.
I was wondering why.
I'm not asking questions. I don't want to know. I don't know. I don't want to ask questions about if that is more prevalent. I don't know. I don't want to say it's more prevalent, but you're Hispanic when, and that's what they said, not me. And now it looks weird because they said they don't want to use any names, so it feels like I might just be reading the email that I made up, but I didn't, and I would say their name because I'm feeling uncomfortable, but I'm not going to do it because you know why? I respect people's wishes. I did not write this email. I'm going to continue.
But before this gets out, before this goes left.
Fran, yes. Save me. Throw me a life raft, please.
We are not laughing at anybody being assaulted.
Anybody being violated. No,
that's not what we're I just want to put that out there. Yes.
Dunkle Funkle was just two funny words. We didn't connect the dots immediately. I was confused, and then I got it, and then it became a serious situation.
Yeah.
Sorry and praises to this. Anybody has been in a situation like that. But again, Funkle Dunkle is objectively some funny words like Dr. Seuss stuff.
Yeah.
Anyway,
also, but I'm not finished.
Okay.
Alvin's reaction was funny as well. Now we'll see each other, so people don't see that.
You gonna throw me under the bus?
I'm talking about you reading and going like your reaction of like, wait, what? This said what?
Yeah, sure.
The reaction of that was funny.
It was a natural one.
Just in the times we're living in, it's just necessary if we.
Yeah, I don't want anything to be misconstrued.
Exactly.
Taken in any kind of incorrect manner, if you will. Anyway, so in my family, there is this piece of shit, sorry excuse for a human, that has been preying on the young girls in my family for over 40 years. That is crazy, but we're going to move on. The first known victim was his wife, my aunt. While the abuse began quickly after their nuptials, he then also began to abuse her younger sisters, who were 7 and 5. This went on for years, as we later learned, until he moved on to violate his own daughter. Wow. He began abusing her around the age of 6. Later we learned too that the abuse went on for years as well with his daughter. Then around the time that his daughter was 7, my parents moved in with my aunt and we began to share a home with him.
Okay, so is this like a I want to know if this is like a situation where it's like the family knows.
I hope not.
But
keep going.
We're not saying nothing is being done out of fear or like accusations being wrong or like what is it?
Yeah, I don't know, nor do I wish to speculate. This is a sticky one. Family secrets. What is a secret? I've been watching a lot of SVU lately, Law and Order SVU, and this reminds me of an episode I watched recently where it was a wife and a husband, and then the wife's sister, and then her daughter. Mm-hmm. And it turned out that the wife's husband had been sexually assaulting the sister's daughter for years. And then the wife kind of knew.
Yeah.
But was in denial. Like, no, this is my husband. Like, he would never do that. But the signs were there. She was even covering for him once he got arrested when the girl came forward and said it happened. And the mom, because it's her sister, believed her sister, which meant she believed the abuser.
Yeah.
So the mom was like, "You're crazy. He would never do this. He's your uncle." And it turned out she wasn't lying. And they had all told her she was crazy for years and covered up for this guy and moved on. And, so I don't know what the situation is, but apparently the guy was doing this for she says over 40 years, this guy was just abusing people in their family, which is absolutely tragic. So she goes on to say, or the person goes on to say, around the time that his daughter was 7, my parents moved in with him and we began to share a home with him. We have somewhat spoken to my parents and they attempt to say that they didn't know, but had some indication. This is a conversation for another day. Side eye. That's what they said in the email. Yes, it is. But when my sister turned 5, he began to abuse her as well. He abused her for many years, and she recently explained to me that it was over 50 times. Wow. All of these beautiful souls have gone on to live very hard lives, substance abuse and trauma that has been passed on to their own children. Now in their 30s and 40s, and besides my sister confiding in me, they have never spoken about it. They each have their own reasons, which I respect. The bomb exploded last year, though. His new wife, he had divorced my aunt about 9 years ago, came out and accused this piece of shit of abusing her 8 and 5-year-old.
Wow.
Both my aunt's sister and his own daughter came out to identify themselves as his victims and show support for these 2 kiddos. Apparently, there were people around his new wife who didn't believe them, the kids. The reason I want to share this is to hopefully let other people know that they are not alone. I have explained to my children, aged 10 and 12, appropriately to their age, that their aunt was raped at the age of 5 by an uncle we lived with. I want to encourage anyone that has experienced this to do so as well. Again, in an age-appropriate way. I want my children to never think that they are alone if this happens. I want to let them know that we would never be ashamed of them, abandon them, or stop loving them if someone hurt them in such a way. God forbid this ever does happen to my children. I take all precautions that I could, but my parents thought they did too. I want them to know that they will never be abandoned and will forever be loved. Please talk to your babies as often as possible. I know this is a sad and uncomfortable subject, but it has to be discussed. I wish I had good closure for this. The piece of shit is still free. He is on the run, but unfortunately, on the run. I guess he got out of town. Probably on the run from like family.
Okay.
Not the
law.
Should be. Should be, but but yeah, it says no pressure on it. So yeah, he's just in the wind, like he got embarrassed or something like that. Now he's like, all right, I won't come around. Is what I'm picturing. I will never press my sister to come out and speak her truth. I am only here for her whenever she needs a shoulder to cry on and an ear to listen to her. I did get her consent before sending this email off. Help anyone in any way that you can. Allow them to see your broken pieces so that you don't feel alone in this world. We are all dealing with demons. Hopeful this opens up a conversation and shines the light on spaces that have for decades been allowed these pieces of shit to hide right under everyone's noses. Your friend, blank. Wow. Thank you, blank, for sharing a story like that. That's absolutely tough. Fran, as a person who has kids, can you speak about the difficulties or the conversations that have been had about, who you leave your kids with, who can babysit, whose house, like how does that, what are those conversations like in a world like it is now?
Well, a conversation like that we haven't had yet. So I'm not looking forward to have a conversation like that, but I know we will at some point. But
for sure,
me and Steph are very strict. Some people, have their thoughts about being strict of people watching their kids. Some people just like, well, maybe you're overdoing it if you're like, I don't want this person watching my child, but it's like, I think you should be that way. I think there should be a short list of people that you trust to watch your children. Like only my dad and my brother and, Steph's immediate side of the family watch our kids. And that's pretty much it. Like we really don't leave them with like, Sophie hasn't stayed a night over a friend's house. That hasn't happened. And I don't know if we will. Like whenever she does sleepovers, they come here, and that's for the other parent. If they feel it's safe, then
because they got to have that conversation about you and Stephanie as well. So
exactly,
which they should.
Right, exactly. And it's like I don't know if I'll ever be comfortable with her staying the night,
just giving up.
I just on a person I just don't know, and I think that would just. My anxiety would be going crazy. I just wouldn't be able to handle that. So, but I think you should have a short list of people that you should leave your children around. And having that
For sure.
conversation of strangers is very important. We
Yes.
do it with the kids, and they kind of get the idea and, what to look out for. But Max, by him being 3, he's so outgoing right now where he's just like
Right.
talking to everybody. And Sophie, she's like, I don't know you, so
Yeah.
you won't get nothing out of me.
Yeah,
you won't get nothing.
I don't.
And
I
you
don't
know,
fuck with
you see her how she was like,
Uh.
I'm not comfortable with this person, so I'm not, we're not having.
It's a very like.
That's nothing to talk
yeah,
about.
Hello.
That is it. That is it.
Hello.
But I think
maybe not even that.
right. But I think those conversations are very important. But
For
the
sure.
one where it's like that situation, we haven't gotten there yet, so I can't really speak
Yeah.
on having that conversation yet.
Well, this person, their email was about encouraging people that like, hey, that's a difficult conversation,
Sure, yeah.
but don't not have it because it's uncomfortable.
Yeah, yeah.
Don't not let your kids be aware that you can come to me because sometimes it could be a vibe, like because these people, perverts, whatever, I don't think they come right out of the gate and assault and hurt people. They leave little breadcrumbs.
Yes.
And it's important to let a kid know or an adult, anybody know,
Yeah.
like, hey, you can come and have a conversation with me if you get a weird vibe from somebody.
Yeah. And that's
Because that you could prevent something bad from happening. You go, oh, if you don't like that person's father or that person's mother when you were over at their house hanging out, not a sleepover, but just you went over there after school and you felt uncomfortable.
yeah.
I'm glad you told me that because now you're not sleeping.
Right. And another conversation to have for people with young children is like body parts. Tell them with the body. Don't make up. Me and Steph
Don't
started.
be shameful.
Don't be shameful,
Yeah.
and don't make up nicknames because you won't know. They'll, you know what I'm saying? They can't comprehend that. And then if they tell
Yes.
you go like, I don't understand.
Mhm.
It could be something else where you go like, oh, okay, that's
Got
and it's
it.
like, tell them what the body
Be
part is.
clear, be
Tell
direct.
them what the body part is so they know. Even if you think it's weird that they know, tell them the proper
Yes.
identity of that, whatever, they're male or female, and so they if it happens, they can tell you
Yes.
what if something happens, they can tell you that, and you go like, okay, well, something got to be done, but don't make up nicknames. Don't do that.
Yeah. And a lot of people do that for their own shit. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't want to have some weird, uncomfortable conversation with my kid about penis or whatever.
No,
like,
no.
hey, man, no, you can't. And also, aside from that, having that kind of stuff can leave people with complexes about their body. Like, you got to let people, don't be shameful and weird and talk to your kids about sex.
Exactly.
Like, you want your kids to come to you.
Yep.
Like, you want your kid to be drunk at the party and call you.
Yep.
Not call anybody and be in danger. Like, you don't want your kid to be scared to come to you to talk to you. You know, it's very important. So thank you to that person for opening up a dialogue for people and, being the person to step out on a ledge and say, hey, let me send an email to these 2 idiots who don't know a fucking thing. and maybe they can start a conversation with people who, need to get something off their chest. I hope that it does. And that'd be cool if it did. We're here to listen. We got another email from, I'm going to go ahead and say Marlo because it doesn't say that I can't.
Okay.
Fran.
All right.
It doesn't say that I can't.
Did you read
So
it?
shout out
You
to
check the end?
You know something? If it is at the end, that's their fault.
Okay.
So if you said a bunch of
Said a whole
family
bunch of
secrets
shit,
and
don't say my
yeah.
name. It's like,
And
I done
also,
said-
I'm like, yeah, and then I killed him, and I buried the body in the backyard. Hey, don't say my name at the end of the. Oh, sorry, Marlo. Sorry, Mar. Anyway, so this email reads, "Hey guys, this one is long, but I hope it finds you well. And also, I'm gonna say it's not that long. So thank you for being aware. But this is a perfectly fine email. This isn't crazy long. Now here we go. I live directly across from a boat ramp on the Hillsborough River in Tampa, Florida. Sometimes when I can't sleep at night, I go sit on the dock, sitting on the dock of the bay, just to get some fresh air and go get a kick out of hearing monkeys chattering from the zoo just a couple of football fields away. Oh, that's probably crazy, like in Planet of the Apes. One night last year, I was doing just that when I heard a man grunting from the darkness.
Oh, shit.
By the boat ramp. That's terrible. That's terrifying. I couldn't see him. I could just hear that he was exerting a lot of energy.
Like Rick Ross?
Eventually,
Sure,
huh?
Rick Ross is over there
yeah, just
in the woods.
lemon pepper. You're like, what the fuck? What is he? Rick Ross always doing something. He's always cutting trees down or riding 4-wheelers. It could have been Rick Ross. It's Florida.
Yep.
So yeah. If that's the reveal of the story, good call, Fred. Be crazy. It was Rose. It was Ricky Rose. So yeah, this person was exerting a lot of energy. Eventually, my eyes adjusted and I saw a short, skinny, scrappy man using his body weight to break off a branch of an oak tree. The old oaks are revered and respected around here due to the history and old age. Well, to those of who aren't developers and couldn't care less. So yeah, people who are trying to build houses, like, I don't give a fuck about these trees. Right. Therefore, it caught my attention and prompted me to shout across the river, "Hey, what the hell are you doing?" He shouted back, "Oh, give me a break. Are you going to call the cops on me too?" I think they meant on. "Are you going to call the cops on me too? I just need a break." I took a beat, then calmingly replied, "No, I'm not going to call the cops, but I'm wondering why you're trying to fuck up the tree for no reason." He replied, "Look, I'm homeless, and today someone gave me a John boat for free to create a living situation for myself." That's
what is a John boat?
Very eloquent. I don't know. I hope they explain. A John boat. Gave me a John boat for free to create a living situation for myself. That's such an eloquent way to say it. This guy was yanking down trees, and he's like, "I was making a living situation for myself over here." Yes. Can I live?
Oh, a John boat is just like a...
Oh, you looked it up?
Yeah,
a John boat?
It's just
it's like the raft from what's the guy from Wilson?
Yeah, that with like a motor on the back. That's it.
Oh, it's got a little motor on the boat? Like it's like a dinghy?
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, okay. Who is that? Why can't I'm so embarrassed. This is a you thing.
Who? What are you talking about?
Tom. Woody from Toy Story.
Oh, okay. I don't know what you're talking about.
Tom Hanks. God, I'm embarrassed. That was embarrassing. Tom Hanks
okay.
in Castaway. God, sorry. That would have gave me a headache. Yeah, so it's like a Tom Hanks and Castaway boat with a little motor on the back.
Yeah.
So it's a very simple boat.
Yes.
It's a John boat.
He's trying to build like
maybe like a roof, like put some shade on it or something, like, maybe make it an indoor boat.
Okay.
Give it a below deck type of situation. Maybe this guy's a craftsman. So give me a break, man. This is oak trees. Leave me alone. And he said, "I just need a paddle to get down to the sea basin at Davis Island.
Paddle.
Without a motor or paddle, I can't get anywhere." This is a crazy conversation to be having in the dead of night. There's monkeys shouting, and then this guy's like giving you really like logical and eloquent things.
Right.
Shouting in the dark and like, "I just need a paddle so that because the motor broke, he gave me the boat, but not the motor."
Yeah. The motor's missing a gasket, so I can't use like it's all smart.
I need to get down to the sea basin, and then I can get the defibrillator, and then I can remotorize and recarbonize the engine. You guys are shouting each other's shit in the darkness. Marlo's like, "Well, I have a friend who has a boat shop, and if you can get the John boat down to there, you won't need to be snatching down all the oak trees." And he's like, "Thank you very much."
Like whispering.
I really appreciate it. I've been on hard times these last few months, and this is a really nice conversation to be having. I feel like a person again. Nobody talks to me. So Davis Island is a fancy island downriver from where we were, and a little downriver from downtown Tampa. It was where Tom Brady rented Derek Jeter's mansion when he first signed with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
I remember that.
Okay, yeah, big time. Yeah, big time shit. However, there's this small nook of the bay in the island where anyone and everyone can anchor their boats and live on their boats with a marina charge for quite a while. People have cats, parrots, etc. living on the boats with them, and it's truly amazing. Okay. So this guy was trying to take his John boat down to this nice little marina. Anyway, I asked the guy if he could hand paddle his boat across the river so I could give him an actual paddle. He did so, and he tied his boat alongside mine. He told me his name was Buddy. He was friendly, but definitely on something. He was excited to have me as company and asked me if I wanted to see him try on his dresses and asked me to let him know which ones were flattering or not.
Okay. Live
your life, buddy.
Yeah. I mean, it's still a weird conversation to be having at like midnight.
Yeah, it's like the middle of the night. There's, again, monkeys shouting. Yeah. This sounds like a dream. I'm not sure this person wasn't dreaming still. This sounds like a crazy. There's monkey screaming. Then this guy came. He was homeless. Then he had a bunch of dresses.
Thanks for the paddle. Do you want to see these beautiful, elegant dresses I have?
Yeah. This one's Chanel. He does the spin where the dress like it twirls or it like balloons out like a schoolgirl.
He bows. His feet.
Yeah, he curtsies. Sorry, Franz.
Curtsies. Oh, bows for men, or is that like masculine?
I don't know, but a curtsy is what you do in a dress.
Curtsy.
You like take the two sides of the dress and you pull them out.
That's what it's called. Okay.
You bend at the knee.
All right,
a curtsy. Yeah, so he curtsied in the middle of the night on a John boat. A lot of stuff happening. So he had an entire wardrobe in that boat, and boy, did he put on a fashion show for me. At one point, he did take out a baggie of white powder and offered it to me. I'm no saint, but I did politely turn him down. Yeah, don't take drugs from random people on John boats. Don't do that.
Went to a line.
You politely turned. Yeah, of course you turned him down. You better. I did a little snortski. We were having a fashion show. I wanted it to be fun. So they turned it down. Eventually, Buddy got on his John boat and started heading downriver under the moonlight. Throughout the next few weeks, my boyfriend and I would take sunset boat rides downriver, stop to take a break, and sleep overnight at each stop. Finally, one day we saw Buddy's boat safely living at the Davis Island Sea Basin. I don't know if I'm saying that right, but I don't know I'm not a water person, but Basin, Basin. He had collected many things along the way, including a bright red love seat that he miraculously stuffed onto his little boat.
How is that on the boat?
This guy's
it's like a
yeah, right?
lazy boy.
Yeah, that's crazy. He's reclinomatic. I still think of him fondly and look for him every time we're out there. Thanks for reading this, and if you ever find yourself out in Tampa, reach out and I'll take you guys out for a ride on our boat. This is from Marlowe from New Bedford, Massachusetts, a home of Frederick Douglass, the Underground Railroad, and a major character in Moby Dick. Oh. Low-key brag. Love you guys. Sent from an iPhone. I didn't need to read that part, but I was in a flow.
Right. I'm impressed that you know what a curtsy is. How did you?
I'm a gentleman, man. I don't know what to tell you. I'm a gentleman. You know, I've taken many etiquette courses. You know, I know where to put the fork goes on the left, soup, you know, all that type of stuff. I'm not going to get into it. We don't need to get into the specifics, but you know,
still
soup spoon goes on the ladder unilaterally on the back end. And then when you fortify the salad fork, you plug that into the circumference of the
sounds like bullshit. Now, like
the dessert spoon, and then what? You curtsy. So you know, it's just about it's classy behavior. That's what we do over here. That's what we indulge in. A friend, I'm gonna read one more email before we get out of here. This was a nice change of pace. This felt good to switch it up, and I'm excited to dive into the next story that we want to talk about next episode. I'm really looking forward to that. But this is a nice little palate cleanser for myself while I, continue to, recover from my little loss of whatever. We don't need to get into that. Whatever. Shut up, Alvin. So last email. This is from a person named Zola. Well,
Too late now.
It says Z at the end. So this is a person named Z. Okay. Pretend, don't worry about what I just said. I don't see them saying don't say it, but now I'm going to call you Z for the rest of the reading your email. This email says, hey guys, I come from a very small town in Ireland. I moved away almost 13 years ago to travel the world and open my mind. Shout out to you, Z. That's beautiful. I think that's dope. If you have the means, the time, the freedom, all that stuff to do that, I think that's great. I think travel opens up the mind. I think that's a beautiful thing. And shout out to you for doing that. Yes. Small towns in Ireland are often, or more often than not, all the way fucked up. Drugs, homophobia, adultery, pyramid schemes, racism, alcoholism, and just general bally go backwards bullshit. Oh, I like that. Bally go backwards bullshit. The Irish have such a way of turning a phrase, man. Shout out to the Irish, man. Before they get into their story, I spent some time in a little town called Bantry in Ireland. Really small town, had a great night, but did have this air of
talking about you.
It's a
all right.
it had this air of like it's a Tuesday and the whole town is at a bar and I don't know if they have work tomorrow. So there's a lot.
That's
of
what they do, though, right?
Yeah.
Get turned.
Having a point. Anyways, a few quickies. These are just some stories. Like it's like a bullet. It's a list of things. I'm gonna read all of them too. So, anyways, a young man living with his mom told her that he hasn't been feeling well for. Are these jokes? Told her that he hasn't been feeling well for a while. She asked how. He tells her that she's having bad thoughts about wanting to murder her. Obviously, the mom was scared, but also that's her son, and clearly he needs help. She brings him to the hospital to be assessed, and after telling these professionals that if he goes home, he will kill his mom, they send him home. Okay. Later that night, the neighbor, sleep on it. Yeah, sleep on it in the home with your mom. Sleep in your mom's room. Later that night, the neighbor heard screaming noises, etc., coming from the house. So he goes in to see what's happening. The son is beating his mom so bad that her eye is literally hanging out of the eye socket.
Goodness. And this is in Ireland?
This is in Ireland.
Well, I feel like out of the States, stuff like this doesn't happen.
I don't know. I don't know why you think that. I don't even know how to respond to that. I don't know
why.
Stuff like what? Violence and crime? Of course, man.
That gruesome. I just feel like that only happens here.
This is America. No, man. People do shit. Yeah, people do shit.
No, I get that. I'm just saying that. Why
you're like, this sounds crazy. This sounds American. That's your first thought. Like, this sounds like some American shit. That's sad. Man, we might need to go. That's sad that you're like, you sure this wasn't America? That's your first thought is like, this happened somewhere not America? So yeah, the person walks in and sees catches this kid beating the ever-loving shit out of their mom. The neighbor gets help and the mom is rushed to the hospital. Currently, the son is living at home and the mom is terrified of him and no longer wants to be there. No shit.
What?
I don't know.
Why is he still at home?
I don't know. And also I don't really know the format of this Z. What are we doing here? What is this? Are these like this headlines from the local news?
Was that it?
That's it.
Oh.
Then there's number two.
Oh, wait. I'm not done yet.
Okay.
Come on, Z. We need some more.
Yeah, Z, this is crazy. I don't know what this format is that you're doing.
Is he not in jail? He's not doing prison time? Or like, what's going on here?
What kind of weird Irish rules are these? You just send them home? Just send them home like that. What are you doing over there? What the fuck are you doing over there? Anyway, one night, many years ago, maybe 20, a group of known drug addicts, of known drug addict idiots, beat up one of their own friends.
All right, that's it.
Or no. They beat him and pushed him over and pushed him into the river. The guy dies. The entire town knows who did it. What happened? All the details. Yeah, right. And guess what? She didn't tell us. So what happened? All the details, it's basically general knowledge, yet the men have never been charged and just walk free.
All right.
3, because that's it. That's all the information that she gave. That's great. And the way that it's just, I don't know the format. This is crazy. This one's nuts. Again, the way that she just goes right into it. 3, at a party one night, the guy who owned the house stabbed his sister's boyfriend. That's the first sentence of 3. Okay. The guy who owned the house stabbed his sister's boyfriend. They were all on drugs and drinking, having a good time. Apparently, the boyfriend hit or beat the sister. I'm not entirely sure, but not for the first time. Brother had enough. Got a knife, walked upstairs, stabbed the boyfriend. Boyfriend dies. Guy's still out free while awaiting trial. Okay. Sad thing here is he's actually a really nice guy. He's a stoner, quiet, always polite and kind. I understand why he did what he did, even though he should never have done it. 4.
Okay, cool.
That's it.
The common denominator so far is like drugs. Maybe the first kid was doing a little bit, was dabbling a little bit.
Yeah, perhaps. I don't know. But an altercation happened, and guess what? Z's here to give us the cliff notes. Really just
Hey, I love it. Keep on.
It's like bite size, like a bunch of little gushers. Yeah. Anyway, 4, a young man has a mental break. That's the first sentence of the thing. He's been struggling with mental health for many years. He's had suicidal thoughts from time to time. Super nice guy. He's tried antidepressants, etc., and expressed his feelings to close friends here and there. Finally starts to get his life together. Has a baby with his girlfriend. Girlfriend wakes up in the middle of the night. He's not in bed. Goes to check on him. Finds him in the kitchen all fucked up on drugs. Long story short, apparently he'd been stockpiling MDMA, acid, speed, and God knows what else, and he'd taken it all. He's on a paranoid trip. Wants to kill himself. Starts stabbing himself in the chest and cutting his arms.
Shit.
Side note here. Cops, medical professionals in Ireland have no idea how to handle mental illness or people in crisis. Yeah, this sounds like America. Suicide is a huge issue in Ireland, and no one is getting the help that they need. Yeah, Hey, twinsies, twinsies over here. Yeah, no, terrible mental health crisis in America as well. Girlfriend calls cops. Cops come. She's crying. Baby crying. Why are you writing this like a caveman? I don't know. Did you think we were gonna charge you per word or something like that? He's out of his absolute trolley. Oh, is that like a mind? He's out of his absolute trolley, and the cops decide to take him with force. They taser him, tackle him to the floor, handcuff him while he's bleeding and clearly overdosing. Might I add that they then take him to the hospital. They keep him for a few hours to monitor him, then tell him to go home. He tells them that he will kill himself if he goes home. They don't listen. He goes home. He's found dead the next day after hanging himself in the attic house. That's the end of that story. 5.
Is this all in Ireland? This is all in Ireland.
I think these are people that she knows.
Town? Yeah, I was about to say, is this shit like...
friend, that would have been a great way to kind of lead with like, hey, these are some... All this email starts off with, anyways, here's a few quickies.
How many is it?
This is 5. This is the last one.
Okay.
Yeah. So I don't know if these are people from her town, people she says stuff like, he's actually a nice guy. Yeah. If you know these 5 people, this is Ireland's nuts.
What town is this?
Yeah, I know, right? Is this Bantry? Anyway, this is the last one, and it's a really sad one. They've all been sad, Z. This is like terrible. This is a terrible town. This is a bleak town. And then Ireland's always raining and gray. This one's sad, so I'll make it quick. Z, you've been making it plenty quick, so I'm concerned. A middle-aged couple with 2 kids is caring for the woman's mammy. Look, Z, I'm going to let you know now, mammy is
mammy.
In America is a crazy word to see in an email, but we're going to move forward. I don't know what it means. I guess it means like a grandma there, but here it means something totally different. And I'm going to say that you don't mean that this kid doesn't have a man. These 2 kids don't have a mammy, but a lot of kids in America that are like senators and stuff. I bet Mitch McConnell had a mammy. Anyway, so these 2 kids are caring for the woman's mammy / kid's grandma, which what we call a nanny. They call grandma a nanny. So I still don't know I don't know if mammy means mommy, maybe. Maybe mammy means mommy. Mammy. For the longest time, neighbors hadn't seen the nanny. Which means grandma, hadn't seen the nanny. She was a lovely old lady and always would be out on the street chatting with people, getting the gossip. Months go by, nothing. Finally, other family members get worried because they've heard nothing from her. The couple always is making excuses as to why she can't talk on the phone and etc.
Uh-oh.
After far too long, someone calls for a wellness check. The cops think something isn't right because the couple won't allow them to put eyes on the lady. A little time goes by, but eventually get in the house and find the old woman is in bed upstairs. She has been starved and left in that bed for months.
My goodness.
She was wasted away to barely living skeleton, left in her own feces. Horrific. I always think to the scene in the movie 7 with the guy in the bed that was also starved. She was taken to the hospital and sadly died not long after being found. Jesus Christ.
Was this family? His family members?
Yeah, they're in the family's house. The couple were collecting her pension and other financial benefits while also getting money for being her caregivers.
Not shocked.
This one breaks my heart. What is wrong with people? The email is a lot, so feel free to skip any story that you'd rather not read. I really wish I would have read all of them, but that's a thing you put at the front. Also, you put at the front like I'm about to tell you a bunch of random. Z, you really cut to the chase, and there's something. You know what, Z? We like you. You cut to the chase, no bullshit. You know, you'll figure it out as you go along. Yeah. What I'm doing here, you guys will catch on, and we did by like 3 or 4. You were doing like American Horror Stories, like there's like little bite size. Yeah, like little 15, almost like what's that show? Are You Afraid of the Dark? This is like Are You Afraid of the Dark or like Goosebumps. Like here's some quick little stories, and we caught on and we get it. Thanks for reading. I love the podcast. I love you guys and the podcast. You always have me laughing out loud when listening. I'm always learning from you both. I'm a white woman, and while I think I am well-traveled and respectful to everyone, no matter where they come from or how they look, I am aware I can always learn more and be better, and will continue to do so. Chat soon, Z. Hey, man. Z. Shout out to you. That's very sweet, very kind. Thanks for the morsels. These were like hors d'oeuvres, horror d'oeuvres. They were like, oh, I like that, friend. Oh, horror d'oeuvres, like horror d'oeuvres. Little bite-size, true crime, awful stories that happen to people. So thank you to Z for that. This has been an episode of Affirmative Murder. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Again, we have a story that we're working on that I'm excited for us to bring to you. But I just needed some time to, process and gather my thoughts and, all that stuff so we can start fresh and get past all the yucky sadness and everything like that and get back to really diving into stories and giving them the attention that they deserve. And I couldn't do that with my head in the space that it was in. But I still wanted to hop on with my boy and, read some stories from you guys that are awesome. Again, if you have any tales that you want to tell from your hood, it's affirmativemurder@gmail.com. Send them in. Tales from the hood. Get them into us. We'd love to hear from you guys. Crazy stories, the way Z told hers. Personal stuff that, sorry for not giving a little trigger warning or something like that. I didn't know it was going to go so DV heavy. On that first story. So my apologies for not preparing people for that a little bit better. And then the middle one from the person that we shall not name as far about, sexual abuse and those kind of things. That was an important one as well. I think that a conversation can be had in that way. If that can open up people to feel more comfortable to talk about things that happen to them, we would love to be the place where that happens.
And
so
domestic
thank
violence.
you to those people. Absolutely. So thank you to those people. Friend, let's go ahead and get out of here. This has been another episode of Affirmative Murder. I've been Alvin Williams, joined as always by my partner in true crime, Franco Evans. We'll see you guys next week.
Deuces.